Hey art friends! Today I'm going to show you how to make a sketchbook at home with the paper that you have. One of the sketchbooks only uses one piece of paper and you'll need a pair of scissors to make that one. The other ones you'll need some yarn or some thread, a needle, a hole puncher, a popsicle stick, and a rubber band. So if you have any of those things, gather those up and you can make a sketchbook of your own. The first type of sketchbook we're going to make is from one piece of paper. This is if you don't have anything to put your sketchbook together with. You don't have staples, you don't have string, you just have a piece of paper and hopefully a pair of scissors. So first we're going to fold this paper in half like a hot dog, making sure those edges are even. Then we're going to fold this in half again along this middle part there. And then we're going to fold each of these edges down. It just creates more of an even fold. But you're dividing the section from here to here in half. Then you're going to open that back up and you should have 8 sections. So we are going to cut from here to here. So we're going to fold this piece of paper in half along this line. And we're going to stop cutting right there where those creases meet. Then you're going to fold this down, and these middle parts are actually going to poke out. So you've got a crease right there and a crease right there. Push those together. So you've got this like 4-walled looking thing, and then you're going to push that down flat. And you push these 2 flaps over to the same direction of the other ones, and here you have a little book. You've got your cover, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages and a back cover. So that is the no sew, no staple mini sketchbook. The next sketchbook we're going to try is a sketchbook that's bound with string, but there's no sewing involved. You just need to know how to tie a knot. So the supplies you'll need are as many pages as you'd like to have in your sketchbook. You can make your own cover out of one of these pieces of paper, or I'm going to use this magazine page as my cover. So the first thing I'm going to do, you can fold all of these pieces individually, or I'm just going to stack them all together and fold them all at one time to save a little time and effort there. And then I'm also going to take my magazine page and fold it in half. Then you'll open up your cover page, put your drawing pages inside of your sketchbook, and then open it up to the middle to where they're all laying flat. Find some string, some yarn, whatever you have around the house, and you're going to have a length of yarn that's a little more than 2 times as long as your sketchbook. So there's about 2 times, but I'm going to make it a little bit longer so I can tie it. Then you're going to lay that string down in the middle of your book and close it. Bring the yarn or string around to the side and just tie a knot or a bow. And that little one string in the middle there will keep your pages secure. If you have any tape, you can take a piece of tape and you could hold that string down. But this will hold it together pretty well. So that is a sketchbook with just a string and paper. I want to show you one more way that you can bind this type of sketchbook that just has the folded pages with the cover. If you want to use a clothespin or a bag clip, whatever you have at home, and mark just 2 little dots right in the center on the crease. And if you have a sewing needle and your parents' permission, you can poke a hole all the way through to the other side. You can do the same thing down here. And then you can use a piece of thread, or if you have a big needle, a piece of yarn. It needs to be at least a little bit more than the length of your sketchbook. And you can use my needle threading trick that I've learned if you need help threading your needle. So having a needle is important with this. Unless your parent can use a pair of scissors and make a bigger hole here, or if you have a hole punch that will reach to here, you could also punch these holes that way. So I'm going to thread my needle with my needle threading trick. You'll just need a skinny little piece of paper like that, and then you will fold this in half, the ends touching. I tell my kids that it's like an alligator's mouth. And put your thread or yarn there and hold on to it with these ends sticking out. And you're going to put the ends of the paper through the eye of the needle. Make sure you get both of them through there. And if it doesn't fit, you may just need to make your piece of paper a little shorter. So once you've got it like that, you'll pull it through, and the paper helps pull your needle through. You don't need to tie a knot on the end because we're not really sewing, we're just putting it through the holes and going to tie it on the front. Or you can do, if I go through the inside like this, I can come back, find the hole on the outside that I made, come back, take my needle off, and then I can tie in here. And this is also a good one that if you want to add pages, you can always untie this and add more pages in as you go. You can have a lot of pages in a book like this. Now I'm going to show you how to make a sketchbook. If you don't have paper, you could always use any paper that you could find around the house, like I said. And here I'm using some recycled grocery bags. I just cut them all to the same size and flatten them out. And you also are going to need a hole punch for this. If you don't have a hole punch, you can use a pair of scissors to punch holes. You're only going to need to punch 2 holes in every paper. But if you're going to use scissors, make sure you have your parents' permission and maybe their help as well. But I'm going to go ahead and use the hole punch. Get your pages together, however many you're going to have in your book. And this one you don't have to fold it. So I made these pages as big as I wanted to make my sketchbook. And then you need a popsicle stick and maybe a pen or a pencil to mark where you're going to put your holes. So I know that I'm going to put a hole here and then right here. Just not all the way at the end of the popsicle stick, but just inside of it, because my rubber band and my popsicle stick are going to hold my pages together. So then you might have to punch the hole through just a couple pages at a time if the pages are thick. And make sure that my pages stay even. I'm going to use this hole to mark my pages underneath, and then punch my last pages. Then I'm going to put all the pages together. Hopefully my holes are sort of lined up. And then you're going to take your rubber band and push it through those holes. One end sticking out like that. You can go ahead and insert your popsicle stick into that part of the rubber band. And then this part can get tough because you're going to pull your rubber band tight and pull it through the bottom set of holes. And then pull that rubber band up. Oh, my rubber band just broke. If your rubber band breaks, then you have to tie it back together. There must have been an old rubber band in my drawer. So now I'm tying my rubber band back together. There. Okay. Now I'll put the end of that popsicle stick through there. And now my book is bound with this popsicle stick. If you don't have a popsicle stick, you could always go out in your yard and get a stick, and you could get a stick to match the length of your sketchbook. Now, if I had had two popsicle sticks, I could have put one here and here, but I also would have had to have two rubber bands. That's the back of it, and opens like so. I would crease this back so you can open them. It makes it a lot easier. Now, if you don't have a rubber band, again, you could use string in this same method. So you could not use the rubber band and the popsicle stick and cut a piece of string to go right here, or you could even tie it on the edges like that. So there's two ways to do a sketchbook with the hole punch, either using strings or a rubber band and a popsicle stick. I hope that you can use those tutorials to help you make a sketchbook of your own at home. And don't forget, after you make your sketchbook, if you didn't use a cover from a magazine, that you can create your own cover, decorate it with markers, colored pencils, just make it your own. And I can't wait to see what you create in your sketchbooks. Bye!